Hello everyone, today I'm going to be showing you guys all the different foundations that I own. So as many of you guys already know, I'm actually a makeup artist, a certified makeup artist. And back in Singapore, I was actually doing a freelance, I was a freelancer and I was doing gigs, weddings and stuff like that. And then when I moved to Sweden, I was teaching women how to, basically just like YouTube, but it's just that I spend more time with them. So now here in Hong Kong, I don't know if I will have the time to do it because I am going to be starting my fashion studies soon. So because of that, I did throw out a couple of my good foundation because they were old, and it's time to move on. So I'm just going to show you a couple of the foundations that I kind of like using, and yeah, that's why I bought them. So the first one is going to be the Makeup Forever HD foundation, and I have a full detailed review on this, so I will leave that link of that video in the information box down below, so you can click and watch it, and also go to my blog. I have pictures and detailed review about this product. So I usually just use this to take photographs, if I'm doing YouTube videos or taking blog pictures and stuff like that. This foundation is the one that I reach out for, and I am in the shade 173. And this is a very good match to my skin tone. I think this is one of the foundation that really matches my skin really well. It's just that it doesn't stay well, as in like the longevity wise it's just not that very good. Next one is the NARS Sheer Glow foundation. This is like my favorite foundation, really. I mean, it just gives that really nice buttery finish to the skin. It doesn't feel so cakey. Well, of course, if you pile on too much, of course, with most makeup it will feel cakey, but this one has a very nice texture to it, and it is a pricey foundation. Quite a good match to my skin, especially during winter time. This is really nice, and this is my all-time favorite. I've had this for like a year and a half, almost 2 years now, and I'm still not out, even though I use it almost every day. If I've not mentioned the color, I'm in the shade Cadiz. MAC. This is the Pro Longwear foundation, and I am in the shade NC45. However, I must say this is not a perfect match to my skin. This is slightly yellow and it's a bit light. However, I do balance it out with a little bit of the NC50 concealer, which is of course very dark for me, but I just mix a tiny bit with this foundation and it works very fine. And also I like the fact that it does stay very well on my oily T-zone, oily combination skin. Now let's move on to the cream foundations. I don't own that many because I usually don't like cream foundations because it doesn't really stay on my skin type. I have oily combination skin, and also I have very dewy skin, so it tends to oily or oil based foundations tend to exaggerate the oiliness, and also sometimes I've noticed that I do have zits after using cream foundations. However, during winter time, this is the only time I can actually wear because it's a lot more drier, and my skin tends to go a little crazy. It gets very dry around my mouth and around my nose, so I can't use liquid foundations or the kind of foundations that tend to absorb oil. So cream foundations do tend to work well during winter time. So I have two here. This is my favorite from Graphitobian HD Glamour Creams, and this one is Winter Wheat, and this one is Desert Sand. Usually I mix them both. I don't like mix them, but I just apply which one is that? Yeah, I apply Winter Wheat on the circumference of my face and also around my jawline, and then I use Desert Sand on the center part of my face, under my eyes, my nose, my cheek area. So, and then I use a damp cosmetic sponge to blend everything out. If I do want to do a little bit of contouring, I don't like to buy separate product to do contouring. I just like to use foundations to do it, because you are going to be creating that base So why not use foundations, darker foundation, 2 shades, probably go for 2 shades darker than your skin tone. So that's how I usually go for my darker, for my contouring and highlighting at times too. So here I have the Grafitobian Glamour HD Glamour Cream Foundation Palette, and this one is in the warm shade. It has the warm shades. So I have the same foundation, Winter Wheat. Which one is Winter Wheat? I think this one is Winter Wheat, and Desert Sand is this one. So now if I want to do contouring, I usually go for these shades, either one of these, and I think the best is this one. So yeah, and if I want to do a little bit of highlighting underneath, then I go for this shade, and I believe this is Buttermilk Sunlit Lenin and Buttermilk are good highlighting colors. I used to use, when I was doing lots of wedding makeup and all, is the TV paint stick from Kryolan, and here I have 2 shades, FS41 and FS27. These are the full size ones. I used to own a lot more before, but I threw them all out because it was just too many to carry around. So here, this one, FS41, is lighter and it goes very well if you want to do highlighting, and this one is the FS27, and this is the darker shade for the circumference of the face, if you want to do a little bit of highlighting or balance out if you have 2 shades to your face. So I have a full video of how I apply these foundations, so I will leave that link in the information box down below, so do check that one out. However, I wouldn't really recommend using this on a daily basis because this is very thick makeup. Of course, they use it for theater work, so of course with all that camera lights and all, you need good coverage, and yeah, but it does take good photographs if you know how to match it to your skin, and the colors should match to your skin, and also how you blend it out with a wet or a damp sponge. Let's talk about mineral foundations. Okay, here I have the Bare Minerals, and this one is in Warm Tan. Now I have love-hate relationship with this mineral makeup foundation. Reason being, I think that time when I wore this, I had like tiny bumps around my cheek, and also it was so shiny on my face, I just felt like a grease ball, even though I wasn't oily. It's just that with mineral foundation, it tends to reflect, it has this micas, so it tends to reflect the light, and it looked like I had very, very shiny skin. So that was the reason why I kind of stopped using mineral foundation. And also, I'm not sure which brand I used, but I started breaking out, and then I found out, I did a little bit of a research, and I found out that I think my skin doesn't agree with bismuth in foundations, in mineral makeup. So yeah, and I'm not sure, I think Bare Mineral foundation does not have it, but I'm not really very sure. However, this is the shade that matches me. Maybe for you guys, maybe if you are the similar skin tone as me, maybe this mineral makeup might work for you. Okay, my mother-in-law gifted this sheer makeup foundations to me last year, and I kind of like it actually. Initially I was like thinking, okay, this is not going to work, because the majority of these foundations, mineral foundations that I've used, they tend to turn grey on me, and yeah, it just doesn't look attractive. But these two, this one from Sheer Cover, it works well. I usually mix them both. As I said, I have 2 tones, so I have to use 2 different colors. And this one is Almond. I'm not sure if you can see the color. This is Almond. This one, I use it on the center part of my face, and this one is Mocha, and this one is a little darker, and this works very well on the the areas where I'm a bit dark. So I mix them both and it does work very well. I must say the coverage is really good with this sheer cover mirror makeup, because you can apply layer, just use a kabuki brush and then, you know, swirl it and buff it into the skin. Now for powder foundation, my all-time favorite, you know, and I have used this for like maybe 10-12 years. That's the Studio Fix from MAC, and I am in the shade NC45. This is like a full foolproof kind of a foundation, because you just have to use a powder, you know, kabuki kind of a brush, swirl your brush in and then you apply it onto your face, and it all depends on how many layers you apply. You do get good coverage, and this is definitely for someone who has oily combination skin. The only thing that I don't like with this is that sometimes, depending on how hot and humid it is with the climate, I notice that it does oxidize just a tiny touch. So to prevent that, you might want to use a primer prior to using the Studio Fix powder. And really, I mean, if you are similar to my skin tone, go for the NC45. It really works very well. So this is pretty much the different foundations that I have, you know, and I have mentioned in this video, and I have shown you which one is my favorite. It's definitely the NARS Sheer Glow foundation, because it does give me very nice coverage depending on how many layers I apply, and I don't need much effort in blending the foundation onto my skin. And also it just gives that beautiful finish, you know, like a buttery finish. It doesn't make my skin too oily, it doesn't exaggerate my oiliness, and also, you know, it doesn't show that I have open pores. Well, I have open pores because I'm getting older, and yeah, I mean, that's my favorite. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful. I know I'm like all over the place, but nevertheless, I will leave the links of the products that I've already reviewed, you know, links to my blog and all in the information box. Do check it out and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon in my next video. Bye.